All right, we are recording. So, good morning. Welcome to the Bowtie Brief. I'm going to keep this short, simple, sweet, and amazing. So I'm going to keep going on this fabulous little book here. It's called Go Givers, Sell More. And I don't know about you guys, but sometimes selling is not my jam. It's not like my favoriteest thing I've ever done. Hi, Amanda. Hi, Jessica. Saying hi to people. And sometimes I can feel really overwhelmed with this idea. Oh, I need to sell. I need to sell. I need to sell. And it's mainly because I've just misunderstood like what selling is and how to actually do it. And so this book for me has been really, really fantastic. I think like 2 weeks ago, hi Amanda, there's your face. A few weeks ago, we talked about the first law. That was the law of value. And it's basically this idea that the goal with selling is that you're going to add more value than what you take in payment. So we talked about a few different ways that you can add value, whether it's through careful packaging, if you're shipping stuff online, or hostess gifts for people that are in home. We had like a whole list of different ways that we could create value. Let me see, I can read it to you. And we talked about different things. So writing thank yous, making them feel special, like remembering their sizes and their styles, providing all the sizes, and following through, and lots of different things that we can do to create value through our sales. So the next chapter is, this is based off of the Go Giver book, which if you've never read the Go Giver book, you should totally go and do that because it's fantastic and it's really easy to read. It's basically a story, and it talks about the 5 laws of stratospheric success. Who does not want to have, I don't make stuff up, look at that, stratospheric success. I'm a writer. Look, I tear up all my books. I'm sure any author would just really appreciate me. So the 5 laws is the law of value, the law of compensation, the law of influence, and the law of authenticity. So I'm muting people as they come in. I'm just going to click mute all. Yes. Cool. All right. So the law of value, your true worth is determined by how much more you give than you take in payment. So the idea is that it's a $35 shirt, but you want to give them a $100 experience. So now we're talking about the law of compensation. And this one is interesting to me. This one has really impacted the way I do business, and it has really impacted the way I view my sales and the way I view my business. I used to really view business and sales as like a vehicle towards something else. But now I'm really finding a lot more joy in the selling and a lot more joy in what it does for other people. So, I mean, I've always had that why and enjoyed, like all of us, making women feel amazing. But sometimes it can be exhausting, right? You don't want to just be a leggings pimp in your life. So this law of compensation has really helped me to reframe selling and helped me to actually really increase my sales. Even though I've taken a week off this month, I will cruise qualify. So I will hit my 12,000 in sales, even though I took 8 days off of not doing any sales. So for me, that's a first time to be able to take a week off and still hit 12K. And I'm super excited about that. It makes me feel very successful all of a sudden. So the law of compensation says this, and it's kind of wordy, so just bear with me. We'll break it down. It says your income is determined by how many people you serve and how well you serve them. So basically, it's this little formula that your compensation, how much money you get, is equal to how many people you serve and how well you serve them. So it kind of combines this idea of value with multiplying the value by a number of people. So your income is equal to how many plus how well. And this was, for some reason, one of these, oh, duh, aha moments for myself. And this idea, and they talked about it in the book, that why do Hollywood movie stars and why do musicians make more money? Like, they're not superhuman, they're not special, they're 100% the same as every single person that is in the world today. And the only difference is the size of their audience. That's the only difference. The size of their impact is bigger, so their paycheck is bigger, right? And how well they serve, the better actors and actresses and the ones that can have more impact are the ones that get paid the most. Same thing goes with basketball players, football players. There can be some amazing football players and basketball players and soccer players that are not in the major, baseball and soccer and football leagues. But it's like, it doesn't mean that they're not as good of a player. It just means they don't have that same scope, that same range. The same's going to go for us in LuLaRoe. People like Lindsay Wheeler, Ashley, or Alex Leigel, or Phil and Danielle, like these people that are kind of our Lula celebrities that sell hundreds of thousands of dollars a month in LuLaRoe. Like, what makes them special, right? What makes them different? And I'm telling you, there's not one thing that they're doing that makes them any better than any of the rest of us. The only thing that is different is the size of their audience and the size of their network. So it's like, us doing our little things and hitting 12,000 is amazing, or 2,000 or 5,000, it's all incredible. But as we continue to expand our network, we can expand our net worth. Did you see what I did there? Network, net worth. That was awesome. It's like mic drop right there. Just kidding. So this is the idea, is that your income is equal to your impact. And for me, I have always been sort of a business romantic, I'll be real. And I'm just, I liked my VIP group to be my VIP group. I didn't want to let everybody in. And I kept it tight, and I kept it small, and I kept it exclusive. And then I just realized that I was withholding a lot of the blessing that comes from LuLaRoe. I was holding it back. I wasn't letting people participate in it. So I was just decreasing my impact. I wasn't increasing my impact because I wasn't allowing people to actually connect with the clothes as often as they wanted to. And I was like, oh, you're a part of like 700 different LuLaRoe groups. You don't want to be in my group. And so I'd be like, decline and not let them in. But I'm like, okay, A, I'm a snob. B, that's not fair, because they might just be looking for that one consultant that connects with them, and they might be looking for the way that I can add value to them, as opposed to some of the other consultants. And I see it as competition, or actually, what I really see it as, I'm like, I don't want them to judge me. I don't want them to judge the way that I do things or don't do things in my business or in my VIP group. So I've been really trying to let myself be open to that. And also, so it talks about, number one, if you want to increase your income, so you have to increase your impact. So the way that you're going to do that is you're going to touch people's lives, number one. So the only way you can touch people's lives is if you continually find new people. And this can be the biggest struggle for a lot of people, is how do I stay-at-home mom, I'm sick, we're covered in diapers, and we can't get out of our house and stuff like that. But this is the number one thing that you can do for your business, is to leave your house. Okay, for a lot of people, that's like the hardest thing. But if you can aim to meet 10 new people a day, or, give yourself, start smaller, 20 people a week, where you literally take your kids and you go in the afternoon when all the other working moms, not just stay-at-home moms, we have to actually really network with people that have, money, go there and, meet people and talk to people and be a nice person. And you're not going there just with this idea of, I'm just going to throw out my 10 business cards. You're going there to actually meet people. You're going there to get to know them and to understand them and have new friends and new people. Okay. So this is the idea behind the go-giver is that we're not out just seeking our own bottom line. We're out to seek to touch people's lives, and we all have something to offer, but you have to be a really good person in order to be a good people person, right? You can't just be a people person if you're going out there with this idea of like, you know, sleazy salesperson wanting to capture every dollar you can, but you're going out there to actually meet new people because you want to increase your network. You want to increase the impact that you can have on the world, right? So you go from being a leggings pimp where you're just kind of prostituting yourself and, you know, whoring out all of your goods to being a really amazing mover and shaker in your community because you are a powerful source and network for everyone around you. So continually find new people, and then you're going to create an experience for them that's going to have a positive impact on their life. So they're going to want to share it with their friends. And for me, this is kind of a struggle. OB staring at me, barking at me. It's hysterical. So me, this can be a struggle because I don't know about you guys, but I can get a lot of irritating people who come to pop-ups mainly. And then they're like the Lula stalkers, I kind of tend to call them. They keep coming. They're groupies. They come to every party. They want to talk to you. They want to tell you about their boyfriends and their children. And you're just like, are you going to buy that dress? Let's just close this sale and move on because I'm kind of tired of you and I don't really like you and I don't really want to do that. And I have two instances in my head that there was a girl who came here and she came to shop at my house, and I had just really read this part, and it was talking about creating an experience of value that has a positive impact on someone. So this lady came, excuse me. This lady came and she was super excited. She was picking up a matching Gracie to her latest Irma. And she was chit-chatting about stuff. And I was just kind of like, oh my God, let's finish the sale and move on. Or what else can I get her to buy while she's here? And everything I tried like wasn't working. You know, like, oh, have you seen this new piece? Or, oh, have you seen this? And then she started telling me about her crafting business and about like wondering if she should like print on cups or different things. And I was like, I don't care. like I don't care what kind of machine you need in order to print on cups. And, you know, I kind of heard this go-giver voice in the back of my head that says, you know what? She's looking for someone to add value to her life. She's looking for someone who is going to, Matthias, I'm talking. Go away. Oh my God. He's very proud of himself. I broke off my chip reader into my iPad and he just got it out. Anyway, that's what he wants praise and approval for. Anyways, love you. Thank you. And so she's sitting here and she's telling me all this stuff, and I'm like, I really don't care. I really have zero interest in what's going on. And I kind of heard in the back of my head this idea that she's looking for connection. She's looking for something, and I could really make an impact in her life if I was interested, if I really took some time and actually listened and became a really good person instead of just trying to sell her something. So we're chit-chatting and we're talking, and I took a moment and I listened and I asked some questions, and I was beginning to get genuinely interested in what we were talking about, and we really had a great conversation. And then as she's turning to leave, she goes, oh, you know what? I am really looking for a skirt that would match, or a top that would match that first skirt that I bought. And I knew exactly what she was talking about because I have this bizarre memory where I can remember things that people buy. And so I was like, oh, I have an idea of something that would be perfect to match that skirt. I'm like, I don't think it's your size, but is this kind of what you're looking for? And so I showed her the shirt, and she goes, yes, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Oh my God, I really love that. It's not my size, is it? And I'm like, well, you're welcome to try. It's like, you never know with LuLaRoe. And so she tried it on, and, before she left, she bought that shirt. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, oh my God, these principles work. I wasn't trying to close the deal, overcome objections, push her to buy something. I wasn't manipulative. I was nothing. I was just simply listening to her instead of just focusing on me. And it like naturally led to another sale. It was really strange, and it got me super excited. So I felt immediately the impact that switch in my brain would have on my bottom line, that if I wasn't seeking it, I would be able to receive it. And we talked about this a little bit on the last law too, and it says kind of the same thing. It's like the more desperate we are to make the sale, the more we come off with this energy of desperation and trying to do it, and we're not adding any value. We're seeking for someone to add value to us, to our bottom line. But if we can kind of come at sales with this idea of, I'm just here to impact your life, I can care less about your money, it really changes the way that people perceive you. So touch people's lives. You have to continually meet new people in order to increase your impact. And then that's the next point. It talks about people, being comfortable being with people. I know that a lot of people are introverts, and maybe talking to people is not your jam. Maybe you're not super excited about this idea of going and meeting 20 new people a day. But reality is you're a person, right? And nobody, don't made you teary. Nobody, no one's an island, right? If you've seen Lego Batman, you know what I'm talking about, right? All you moms, look, I established on my Facebook Live last night that I obviously need to watch more adult movies because all of my movie references are children movies. Anyways, when we start singing Moana at the end, you'll know why. But Lego Batman, right? No man is an island. You can't do it alone. So even if you're an introvert, even if you feel shy, you're a person who needs people, and people need you in their life. So you have to be comfortable being with people. I say playgrounds to a lot of moms, like get out there, go to the playground. Why do other moms go to the playground with their kids? Because they're seeking connection, right? They want out of their house, they want their kids to play, and they're tired of being alone. So connect with them, talk to them, be with people. When you are standing next to somebody, talk to them. How are you? Who are you? What do you do? And they're not prospects, they're people. And the more comfortable you are just talking to people and being with people and not pushing your own agenda, the more people want to be with you and they want to be a part of what you're doing. So that leads to their third topic in terms of this law of compensation. So touch people's lives and people. Get comfortable being with people. And so then it's this idea of building something called rapport. And this seems like very basic people skills, but it's so interesting. When I have gotten caught up in sales, when I've gotten caught up in this idea of close the sale, overcome objections, find out what their need is and fill their need. It's like you're doing this kind of chess game with people and trying to make sure you're saying the right thing and doing the right thing. And they've picked up this shirt and you're like, oh my God, they need to take that because it's been in my inventory for 6 months and it's the ugliest thing I've ever seen. And you're like, how do I get them to take this shirt? And you're trying to build up this strategy in your head. It doesn't work. But instead of understanding this idea of rapport, that great salespeople create a bond. And so I was really, really humbled. On Tuesday night, I had this amazing party, 75-piece pop-up, rocked my world, had a great time. But more than any of that, there was a lady there who, so this was like a community room in an apartment complex, and the women kind of just take turns who's hosting it. So a previous hostess was there, and she and I were chit-chatting, and so at the end of the party. And the last party was the one that she had hosted. And so we had a lot of time to talk, and we were chit-chatting about life and different things as I was setting up, and we were breaking it down. And one thing we were talking about was homeschooling. Now, if you know me, I have always had homeschooling as a goal in my life. I was 18 years old and I was like, when I have kids, I want to be a homeschooling mom. I just like to teach. I love all of that. Now, fast forward a good, 20 years. What am I now? 36. And that ain't happening. And it was a huge struggle for me, huge struggle for me to let go of that. And, you know, I still sort of struggle with it, and I still think about it a lot, but I know as a person and different limitations and my child and different things, it just, and my love of my job, that it wasn't really going to work out for me. So I was talking with this hostess who has 5 kids, and she's homeschooling all of them, and she was just drowning, and she was just talking about how she was drowning and feeling like she couldn't be successful at anything. And she was taking her kids 2 days a week to a homeschooling co-op situation, and she was really struggling with how much she loved sending her kids to this homeschooling co-op, way more than she enjoyed them being home and her teaching them. So we're setting up for this pop-up, and, you know, we're just discussing it. I'm not telling her anything. I'm not selling her anything. I'm not doing anything. And then she shows up at my pop-up on Tuesday, and she has this huge bag of 15 items, and she's just like glowing. And I'm like, what's going on? How are you? And I didn't even remember our homeschooling conversation. But at the end of the night, she goes, hey, I've been meaning to tell you, I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you. And I said, for what? She goes, for encouraging me that I'm not a failure if I don't homeschool my kids. And I was like, what? I was making small talk, you know? And it's this idea that you never really know. You have to build a bond with people, and that's just part of being a person. And that built her loyalty to me. There are so many LuLaRoe retailers out here, like, seriously, it's out of control. We live in like a tiny rural area, and there's like 50 of us. It's insane. But building that bond with people and taking the time to be a friend is so impactful and builds your customer base like no other. Rapport, build the bond, allow the other person to shine. It's not all about you. Finding common ground, and basically be a human. It says, just be human. Don't be a robot. Don't be a sales robot. And I actually feel like that's super simple, but it's really real what happens to a lot of us. We're trying to make the sale. So we're like, people ask us, I don't know where I'm going to wear this. I'm like, and then you automatically start chiming in. Are you kidding me? You can wear glitter to the playground. You can da-da-da-da-da. You can do all of this. And, oh, you can wear it here and you can wear it there. And it's like, you know what? Be human. We all make that thing. We all make those and try to make those decisions. And it's like, you know me, I'm still trying to make a decision about this Sarah here, which, well, I guess it's mine now because I feel like I might have ripped the tag off. No, I didn't. It's still there. You know, and I'm like, well, am I really going to wear it? Does it really match the things? And it's like, you know, be a human and say to them, I know the struggle is real, right? You love something, but you're not really sure how practical it is. Do you go with your heart or your head? What do? You know, say something like that and be human instead of trying to convince them that they need to have it so that you can get your $70. And the more human you are, the more sales you will make because you're making a bigger impact. Because who knows, you might help them and they may not buy that Sarah with you today, but they're going to remember the fact that you didn't pressure them and you didn't push them. And so they're going to come back to you for all their shopping needs because they don't want to be pushed. They don't want to be manipulated. They don't want to be hurt. I mean, you want to treat people the way you want to be treated. So smile, be polite, and listen to what they're saying. If they're saying to you, I'm not sure where I would wear this. Like, what are they really saying to you? What are they really saying? It's like, I'm bored. I am not connected. I don't really have an excuse for this. I need to justify this. You know, find out what they're really saying and listen to them and ask them questions and just be like, hey, you know, you can come to my house and wear it or whatever you want to say to them, but listen. And so I think it's the last one. No, a couple more things about compensation and increasing your impact is skills. 90% people skills. 90% of people skills is just listening, learning to listen to them and responding genuinely. These feel like really basic life skills, but it's something that gets forgotten when we're talking about sales and sales training. Your compensation is equal to your impact. You increase your impact when you focus on other people, when you're just a genuinely good person. How do you focus on other people? You be curious, right? Be curious. Be curious about them. And it talks about if you're uncomfortable, this was a key one for me. Because are you guys ever in like a shopping situation and you start to feel uncomfortable, or you feel the energy drop and you feel like, oh, you know, are they going to buy this? You know, do you know that feeling, that like anxiety feeling when you're having a sale and you're like, oh my God, is anybody going to buy anything? Only 2 people showed up. What is happening? And you start to feel really uncomfortable. Like you don't know what to say and you just want to leave. And you're just like, why did I even come? There's like cat litter everywhere. What is happening? All my clothes are going to smell like pee. Once you start getting that uncomfortable feeling, they say it's because you're thinking about yourself. And you're focusing too much on you. And it's like, once you are looking at the interest of other people and you're just seeking them instead, you lose that anxiety, you lose that uncomfortableness, and it actually creates a better experience from everyone. Also talks about increasing your impact by having a lot of emotional maturity. Keep the focus on other people's feelings as you acknowledge and honor your own, right? That's emotional maturity. The fact that you don't get upset, you don't get mad if somebody doesn't buy anything from you, but that you really, really focus on the fact that you respond to people, you don't react. So it feels like these are really basic like people skills that get forgotten a lot in sales. And I kind of love that they do this, that this is sales training from a very different perspective, that it's not about how you can force the other person and make the sale, because technically you can never make a sale. There's nothing you can do to make somebody purchase something. All you can do is offer them what you have to sell and create an amazing experience for them, whether or not they purchase it, right? So this is that idea. This is the idea, law of compensation. If you want to increase your income, you need to increase your impact that you have with the people that come into your life. So, you know, expand your network, keep growing it. One thing I've been doing more to expand my network is I've been doing online pop-ups, online hosted pop-ups. And some of them are super profitable and some of them aren't, but all of them are an exposure to new people. A chance to get new people into my VIP group, a chance to get clothes onto new people, and a chance to really spread your network. So that's one of the things I've been doing. Another thing that I've been doing is being more open about appointments. People can make appointments any day of the week. I mean, I used to only do appointments on a couple days a week, but now I'm just doing them every day. If I have a half an hour, 45 minutes in a day, we can make a time and they can come, you know, not limiting and restricting my time so much. I still have my holy hours where I'm from 4 to 8 o'clock, just mom making dinner and doing stuff. But if I have time in the day, like I don't need a 2-hour lunch break. I can, you know, squeeze them in or do something. And so for me, that's been a big level of it. And also increasing my impact by really just listening, taking the time to listen to what they're saying, listening to what they're looking for so that I can serve them appropriately. So those are my thoughts to you guys. Obi is like beating me up in here. Those are my thoughts to you guys about this law of compensation. Next week, we'll talk about the law of influence, but I would love to open it up for anybody who has questions or thoughts or comments. I'd love to hear some stories if anybody has experienced anything along these lines. So you can unmute yourself by clicking on the little microphone at the bottom of your screen or top, wherever it is. I'm going to wait for you guys. Active listening, says Angela. No thoughts, no questions, no people. Yes, there are. I want to hear. I'm going to wait. I'm just going to stare at you people. All your beautiful faces. There's not very many faces on here. Amanda, what are you eating? You're funny.
I've never actually spoken up on this. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Oh, I did it right. Yay. Okay. So I feel that I'm doing a lot of what you're saying. I'm doing a lot of that right. I have the tendency to talk a lot, to just kind of word vomit. I totally do that, and I hate it. But I feel like I've kind of poured myself into these people and into these customers and really connected with them, and then I never see them again. And I guess I just kind of like really struggle with that because I feel like I'm doing something right and I'm on fire, and then, wow, whatever happened to so-and-so, like, you know what I mean? Or like you connect with somebody when you're doing an event and you notice they don't join your group or anything like that. And I guess that's my struggle. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, that totally makes sense. And I met some amazing woman when we were in Hawaii, and we had this great time. We were chit-chatting. She was wearing LuLaRoe. We're on a whale watching thing together, and we just immediately connected. And she was like, okay, my phone was dead, so I couldn't add her on my VIP page or friend her. And she was like, I'm going to do it. She hasn't done it. And it happens to everybody, but it's that idea that it doesn't, like, being able to let that go, that you did what you needed to do, and you were there for that person in that moment. And the reality is that they're going to remember you. You want to create an experience where they're going to remember you. I mean, another very practical thing to do in that situation is to make sure you just get them on. You don't even have to put them on your VIP group, but make sure you friend them, friend them.
Most likely not. She's probably from the 60s, 70s. They didn't do that back then.
Who is talking to us about the 60s and 70s?
I don't know.
So that's my thought, Amanda, for you on that idea, connecting with people but feeling like there's no follow through. But if you establish that relationship, you build that rapport, you make that bond with them, then there's no awkwardness in trying to reconnect with them. Like, oh, hey, I just really loved hanging out with you. I hope everything goes well with this or whatever, So I try to at least friend them on Facebook, and then I can add them to my VIP group at another date or something. But for the main...
Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah, but for the most part, it's like, your job is to make that bond and make that connection, and they're going to remember that, and they're going to feel that, and either they're going to follow through or not.
Okay.
Cool. Any other thoughts or questions? Orian's staring at me. I think we should talk and cough in our faces. Come on, Orian, speak up. I talked a lot. Somebody's going to have to tell me something. I'll unmute you so you don't have to deal with it. Who else do I want to hear from? There you go, Orian. You're unmuted.
I don't know. I like people. It's easy to talk to them. I think I do really well in that part of it anyway. I don't like to be a pushy seller. I used to sell cell phones where you had to be. It was my job to be pushy. It sucks. I hate it. But it's easier with LuLaRoe to just be people with people. It's just easier. I mean, it's just clothes. You look cute, and if someone's like, oh, you can tell when they're not really feeling it. And then they kind of look at you like, what are you going to say? How are you going to react when you notice? And I just will always say, it's, if you don't like it or if it doesn't feel right, it's not a big deal. It's fine. I'll hang it up for you. I know where it goes. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Exactly. And then people respect that and they want to go with it. And I just think, to me, it's the thing, like when it starts to feel awkward, when it starts to feel like you are being pushy, like that's the number one thing. You're like, it's awful. You don't want to be that pushy person, and you don't want to be the person being pushed. So I just love that this book has given me a lot of freedom and the idea that there's not a right way to close the deal, and that you can't be a bully, So
I've had a lot of people actually compliment me on that, just because I'm not that pushy salesperson. I listen to what they want, that they've had other retailers that they have said in the past that they don't listen to what they want. They're just trying to push clothes on them, and They're not listening that I don't want those colors. I don't like bright colors. I need plain. And then I have these compliments coming from other people. And like, it has definitely given me more customers doing that and stuff like that. But that's where, you know, I think I'm doing that right as well, is they don't want that pushy salesperson. They want a real person. They want somebody who can respect that they're on a budget too, that they want to stick with that budget. They don't want to go over. And that's when I suggest, well, let's have a party. Let me come to you and you can get it for free, you know? And I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, the bottom line is, if you want to increase your sales, you have to increase the number of people you serve, and you have to increase how well you serve them. Just like that. I think it's a pretty clear, like, you know, oh, duh, sort of a thing. But it's like, you can't sit around and be upset that your sales are not $20,000 or $30,000 a month if you're only serving 10 or 15 people a month. So, you know, get out there, meet the new people, them, and serve them all really, really well. So I'm going to end it here, let you guys go, and have a fabulous week. Let me know how you build rapport with your customers, you build a bond with them, and just different ways that you're finding to increase your impact, increase what you are going to be able, or increase the number of people that you can serve. So that's what I have for you guys. You guys have a great rest of your day. Enjoy your week, and I will post this later on. Bye.
Okay, thanks, Amy.